Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started. First off, my name is Jeff Merton. I'm a partner marketing manager here at Sage. Just want to welcome everyone to today's webcast with CIMcloud on reducing operational friction with the Sage 100 customer portal. A few logistical items before we get started. I do want to believe the presentation is planned for around 40-45 minutes today, so we should have plenty of time for questions. So if you have any questions as we're going through this, please just put them into the chat or the Q&A window there on your screen and send them to me, the host, and we'll be sure those get answered. And if one happens to be too specific that we don't want to answer in front of the group, do know that we get a record of that and someone from the CIMcloud team will be reaching out to you. As I've already gotten several partners reaching out about the recording, want to let you know we are recording this today, and later this week or early next week at the latest, I will be in touch with a PDF of the slides that you see here today, as well as a link to the recording. So with me today, I've got Jack Evans, a sales manager for CIMcloud, as well as Grayson Truslow, account executive, and they're going to be taking us through the presentation today. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jack to get things started.
Thank you, Jeff, and thanks everybody in the audience for joining us today. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, and to get obviously a lot of you have met in the past, but to put a face with a voice, again, I'm Jack Evans. I'm the sales manager here at CIMcloud. Grayson Truslow is on with me as well today from my team. He's an account executive here. Some of you may have had an opportunity to interact with him within the last couple months, but we're going to be walking through the presentation today. To echo Jeff, ask any questions, comments, feedback in the chat or in the question box, and we'll get those answered. This is obviously for you guys, making sure the material and everything's coming through cleanly. So don't hesitate to let us know if you have any questions, and we'll make sure we get time at the end for that. So big picture agenda here, and no pun intended on the first agenda topic, but we're going to kind of start with just painting a picture for the audience here on the overall landscape as it pertains to e-commerce and AR software that's obviously aligned with Sage 100 ERP systems, and kind of talk about where the Sage exclusive offering or the Sage 100 customer portal fits into that overall equation. So kind of big picture, more visionary stuff there. We'll be kind of quick through that section. Then Grayson's going to walk us through the Sage 100 customer portal. Who of your customers would be a good fit so that they can hopefully come join the webinar we're doing here in 2 weeks that we'll be making some noise about upcoming. I'm going to walk through a brief demo, so it's going to be very high level, but just proof of concept on our solution, how it interfaces with Sage. I will be highlighting the integration there as well. So sometimes it's easy to say the word integration, but showing it obviously requires proof of concept. We'll dig into pricing, partner margin, how this impacts you from a financial standpoint, from a positive financial standpoint. And then talk through expansion opportunities, both generating additional commission dollars to CIMcloud, as well as potential services opportunities that you have when you're working with customers, and we'll get wrapped up from there. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of start with the big picture. So when you're working with your customers, it may be looking at warehouse automation software. It may be looking at sales tax or an Avalara type software. They may be looking at business intelligence or e-commerce, but all of those solutions, including the Sage ERP that they are running, are designed to do one of two things. It is either to help you drive revenue, so you're seeing dominate your market, but you want to drive as much revenue as possible into your business. As we all know, cash is king. Cash allows you, obviously, to pay the bills, to fund R&D investments, to expand, to acquire, to merge. And then also you want to do that while you're operating as efficiently as possible. And really, efficiency can be effort. Efficiency at the end of the day boils down to the bottom line and kind of the operational cost of the business. So if you look at like the Sage ERP that you have your customers running, they're doing that so that their business can operate more efficiently and so that they can scale while maintaining that efficiency. So really, whether they're looking at CIMcloud or any of the other solutions in the market, ultimately your customers want to do one or both of these things. And in a perfect world, they're doing both in parallel and really driving bottom line growth. So from a CIMcloud perspective, and this is just kind of more industry outlook, and some of you may be familiar with this book or maybe have heard us talk about it in the past. And I'm not going to read all these slides to you, but really the goal of this business was of this book and this business venture that was undertaken was to understand across thousands, tens of thousands, as you can see on screen here, of businesses across different verticals, different sizes, kind of what drives customer loyalty. Customer loyalty in the sense of maintaining that wallet share from that customer, maintaining those relationships with that customer. And they kind of had this initial hypothesis that it was all about white glove service and the things, that are obviously a very important part of how you operate. And not to say that those things aren't relevant. Obviously, you want to take care of your customers, you want to treat them well, you want to obviously appreciate their business. But what ultimately is the key driver of that long-term customer loyalty or that long-term wallet share from your customers is overcoming that Amazon effect or providing an Amazon style experience. I think we've all kind of experienced a little bit of a shift in our personal lives over the last 10 plus years, minimally in the last 4 years as we've kind of come out of the 2020 experience we all went through. And we've all started adopting these online tools, whether it's Amazon or Uber Eats or Instacart for your groceries, or ordering your Chick-fil-A on the app before you go pick it up. It's all about limiting the amount of effort that it takes for customers to do business with you, or in this instance, for our collective customers to do business with their customers. So the first goal that we kind of introduced there is dominating your market or growing or maximizing your sales revenue. And what you're seeing here is that one of the key tactics to doing that is to allow customers to self-service. So that could be minimal in the sense of we want customers to track shipments, track orders, track status, invoices, pay invoices online. That could be expansive. That could be, hey, we want to do full e-commerce for our wholesale repeat customers. We want them to be able to submit RMAs. We want them to be able to submit support tickets, all these different things. But the key is that those customers can do it for themselves. So that's going to give them that anywhere, anytime, any device connectivity that we have in our personal lives. And obviously, allowing for that self-service requires two things. That's the platform and the data. The data lives in the ERP system for the most part. And the platform is kind of where CIMcloud comes in, and we'll hit on that here in just a little bit. But one of the keys to dominating your market or really maximizing and increasing your likelihood of maintaining wallet share is providing alternatives for customers to service their account on their terms. The second thing that we want to look at doing here is obviously operating as efficiently as possible to service that revenue. So we want to make sure we get as much revenue as possible and as little operational costs as possible, take that bottom line, reinvest in the business. So on top of customer self-service and allowing customers to do business on their own, the second is you need to make sure you're still providing the option for that white glove service from your employees. So this could be field reps, that could be your customer service rep, that could be the lovely receptionist that sits at your company and is the face of your business interacting with those customers that are calling or emailing in. But again, employees need to know what's going on. None of us here are thinking that the world's going to go full robot. So while people are self-servicing and doing things on their own with solutions like CIMcloud, it's also important that those employees that are managing those accounts or ultimately responsible for those accounts are kept in the know. So if you're taking an application like a CIMcloud that gives your customers the autonomy to do business on their terms, gives your employees the visibility into what customers are doing, both transactionally and in general on the platform, which we'll talk to in a little bit, then you're able to operate as efficiently as possible to get that revenue. But the key is that any solutions or tools that those employees and customers are using are integrated with their ERP system. And I think all of us probably are saturated with the word integration. But from a CIMcloud perspective, we view integration as bidirectional, as real time, and as something that is basically accounting for all data points needed. So it's not as simple as just taking an order and moving it from point A to point B or standing up static pricing on a website. It's really providing that same exact experience that they get interacting with humans, but providing that in an online environment. And that's how you move users into the online world. So when you're looking at doing this from an e-commerce perspective, so let's put this back in the lens of transactional businesses looking to sell products or get paid for the products they've already sold within their customer segment. For those of you, when you're working with customers that may have some of these goals, there are two options that you would put in front of them or that we would encourage them to be exploring. So one is where CIMcloud comes in, and we'll get to CIMcloud for those of you who may not be super familiar with us here in just a little bit. But one option is to pick a single vendor. So that vendor has a platform that allows customers and employees to do business and has that native integration with their ERP system. In this instance, that would be Sage 100. So not only does the platform exist, but the platform is built to work with the data and the infrastructure from their ERP system. The second option, and some of you may have customers that have already gone this route, and we obviously encourage users to explore all options when they're making these decisions, but you can pick a platform, think a Shopify, a BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Adobe Commerce, the list goes on. And these are platforms that do not have native integration to their ERP system. They're designed to not have that integration to their ERP system. And then what you do is you go find a middleware provider to piece the two together. So one strategy is you have a single vendor that provides the entire ecosystem independent of the Sage environment, which is obviously managed by you, the partner, or you provide multiple vendors for that client to work with to achieve their goals. I've seen both strategies have success. Obviously, I represent a company that does one of these, but we feel that from a risk mitigation standpoint, when investing in technology, a single vendor strategy is the right strategy, particularly as it pertains to e-commerce. So things you're seeing on screen here, I'm just not going to read these, but really at the end of the day, your customers, so our collective Sage 100 users, when they're working with their customers to put tools and solutions in front of them, it has to accommodate complex B2B use cases. So as I mentioned previously, they need the exact same experience, they need the exact same data accuracy, and the exact same functionality that they can verbally communicate through a rep via email or phone. So if, for example, they need to be able to leverage credit status as a driver of an ability to place the order. Okay, well, that is a very B2B specific use case. And if you don't have a platform that has both the credit status and the credit limit, and then also the functionality to restrict what that user can do based off their credit status, then obviously they're not going to be able to use the platform in the way that you prefer for them to use it. So it's key that you have a platform that's built for B2B, built for the ERP system, and then again, the day-to-day operational efficiency that you get when you have a single vendor is you have a single point of contact. So if you have any issues, and anytime the word integration is involved, as you guys in the audience know, things come up. There's support needs, there's issues with version compatibility, you name it. And it needs to be a single vendor that's experienced in solving those problems in an isolated environment. So not having the finger pointing game, the web provider points at the middleware provider points at the web provider, and then they all point at the ERP system. So I think we've all been through that. But throughout today's presentation, and anytime you're interacting with us at CIMcloud, we're really going to be painting a picture on why having a single vendor that's built for B2B is really the only way to have that optimal success and really scale a solution as you roll it out to customers. So I'm going to turn it over to Grayson here in just a second, and he's going to walk through, for those of you in the audience, kind of the profile of customers that are a good fit for the Sage 100 customer portal that's provided by CIMcloud, and then we'll tee that up for a demo there. So Grayson, I'm going to turn it over to you, man.
All right, thanks, Jack. And I hope everyone's having a good week thus far, shaking off the rust from that long holiday weekend. So before we get into the product, we do want to give a brief overview of what the typical CIMcloud customer looks like. So CIMcloud's platform really shines when it's used by North American-based, product-centric B2B companies, more specifically B2B wholesale, distribution, and manufacturing companies. The platform also does provide opportunities for service-based businesses that are doing heavy invoicing. The North American-based piece of it is entirely practical. We are a North American-based company located on the East Coast, and all of our employees, including our customer support staff, are based in North America as well. And so that means two things. First, if a customer has a problem or a question and they get on the phone, they're going to reach a real-life person who's English speaking and is actively involved in the day-to-day operations of CIMcloud's business. It also means that though we do offer 24/7 support here at CIMcloud, our normal business hours are going to coincide with our customers' normal business hours, give or take, depending on the time zone. And this is going to allow us to be prompt and effective at supporting our customers when they need us. To give insight into the diversity of our customers, we have some that have annual revenues of 5 million and less, some closer to 50 million, even 100 million plus, and sort of everywhere in between there. So if this looks and feels like a customer of yours, then CIMcloud may be a great fit for their business and their goals. So now getting more into the meat of the presentation, for a high-level overview of Sage 100 Customer Portal by CIMcloud. The goal here, as we've alluded to, is to create that effortless experience for customers, an Amazon-style self-service experience, if you will. CIMcloud achieves this via our proprietary ERP sync tool. This tool syncs data from the Sage ERP and displays it onto the CIMcloud platform in real time. So as you're seeing here, data such as customers, addresses, shipments, invoice history, sales orders, RMAs, all that's being pulled directly from the ERP and is displayed to customers and employees when they log into their respective portals. On the flip side, when a customer uses their portal, for example, to make a payment on an invoice or request an RMA, that data will be synced from the CIMcloud portal to the Sage ERP. So this is going to create that smooth and easy self-service environment, allowing customers to track orders and shipments, make online payments, and keep track of those payments. You heard me say customers and employees just a second ago. The CIMcloud platform contains a CRM workspace for customer-facing employees. This allows these employees to keep track of what their customers are doing without having to be in the middle of those transactions. So rather than having to make or take calls, getting stuck in endless email threads, what have you, they can stay in the know while maximizing their time and efficiency within the business. One thing to point out here too is that CIMcloud does offer a ton of add-ons available for businesses that want to give their customers the ability to do things such as place online orders, view inventory, etc. So if businesses are looking for more than visibility and payment functionality, CIMcloud has them covered there. And Jack will be reviewing some of those add-ons further into the presentation today. And finally, before we get into the demo portion of the presentation, did want to give you a quick visual of the portal itself from both the customer and the employee side of things. So as you can see here, very linear process from viewing orders and shipments to viewing invoices and finally making payments on those invoices. If you look over to the right, you're going to see an example of an invoice here that's going to give customers information on order totals, billing and shipping information, line items, subsequent shipments, and invoices tied to specific orders. And then here, what you're seeing is the employee side of the portal, that CRM workspace I mentioned. So again, you're going to have visibility into customers, sales pipeline, and orders and shipments placed by those customers. If you look over to the right, this is going to be information on a specific company that's within the portal there. So you're seeing recent sales orders, invoices, recent shipments, location information, and contact information for ABC company here, which is obviously a company that we created for demo purposes. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jack now and let him continue on with the presentation.
Thank you, Grayson. Yeah, and as he mentioned, we're going to kind of dive into a little bit of product here. Not going to go through too much demo, but just wanted to kind of introduce. I'm going to actually take one step back here. So as we've mentioned, we're kind of focusing on our customer portal product. So a customer of ours or a collective Sage 100 user could just link from their existing marketing website and have it say dealer portal, wholesale login. They could have it in the header, they could have it in the footer, they could have it all over the place. You can also have it be invite only. But the key thing here with deploying CIMcloud as a customer portal is everything starts at the login. So that's obviously going to do two things. One is going to increase security and make sure that the right people are seeing and accessing the platform. And then twofold, it's going to make sure that the data that they do see, once they've logged in and validated who they are, what account they're with, it's going to be accurate real-time information coming from Sage. In the event that they have an outdated marketing website, maybe it was built in 2008 and isn't even mobile responsive, and just needs something that's a simple refresh, CIMcloud can handle that as well via one of the add-ons that Grayson's alluded to in his previous deck here. But for demo purposes, we're going to focus on the portal version. So if you look at username and password here, a company or a company record, customer record in the ERP system would be affiliated with a web account. And then a web account can have multiple users. So it's the same hierarchy and structure that they have, or our customers have in the ERP system. You have multiple people you interact with. Maybe that's an accounts payable, an accounts receivable. Maybe that's a purchasing agent. Maybe that's somebody in the fulfillment or the warehouse team. All of those people can have designated logins for their user. They can also use a house account. So key thing here is we are validating who they are and what data from the ERP system to display. Now this is kind of a dashboard view, as you can see here. Everything we're going to walk through is included in the Sage 100 customer portal that you can get on the Sage subscription order form, the Sage price list. And as we go through this, what's important to note is that it's designed to be linear in terms of kind of that quote to cash process. And obviously what we're focusing on here is more the order placed to cash process. So the top is going to be all about order tracking, order and shipment tracking. So if I come into an open order, what's important to note here is we're grabbing 24 months out of the box. We can grab more than 24 months as needed, but 24 months of transactional history for this customer, for this account. So what that's going to do is it's going to give them that full experience of all of the orders that they've placed, whether those are online orders, offline orders, EDI orders, site visits, any way that these orders are getting into the Sage ERP. We're syncing them out of that sales order history record or table inside that Sage 100 environment. So all of the details you're seeing here are just reading one-to-one from the tables and fields in Sage. You have your kind of general header information here, including ship via and tax codes. Obviously, order totals are relevant for the user to be able to see what represents the order totals on the invoice that they're ultimately going to be paying. You can see the bill to and the ship to. Now, again, obviously a very B2B scenario or B2B specific scenario would be a single bill to with multiple ship tos. Most or all of your customers have that kind of set up in their ERP. And so you'll note that we're obviously replicating not just those details, but that structure. You can see the order line items. So shipped, this is obviously a completed order. You'd see the shipment status. So what's shipped, what's back ordered. If it's obviously a new order, there won't be any status. As your customers or our collective customers add miscellaneous comments, they may add or revise that order during the fulfillment process. Maybe the customer picks up the phone and says, hey, I ordered 2 of those, but I really need 200. Our collective customer would just make that change in Sage 100. The website would recognize, or the web portal would recognize those changes have been made and sync up the refresh data. Obviously, part of the overall process here in a B2B world on these completed orders is going to be visibility into that invoice or multiple invoices on a single order. So we're reading this as well from the ERP system, and users can jump into that invoice from here. Now this one's paid, so fortunately it doesn't require any action on it. And you can see again status coming over there, and then you can also see any shipment tracking information. So we'll have the ship via code. If the ship via is a FedEx or UPS, we actually link into their system for order tracking. So this is a fake order number or tracking number, so it's going to error out. But as you can see here, we're jumping into their tracking system. So trying to eliminate inbound Q&A on order status. When's this going to be here? Is there an invoice yet? We haven't gotten the invoice in the mail. When's this shipment arriving? Can you send me a tracking number? All those questions that eat up valuable time and can be moved online. So further into that process is obviously visibility into invoices and making those payments. So this account statement here, one of the things I did allude to is because we have a very robust integration and defined sync tool with Sage 100. We're grabbing things like credit status, credit limit, how many open orders do I have, what's the aging on my invoices, and being able to see all of this in a snapshot. Just like if you were sending an account statement, you know, in the old days, putting a piece of paper in the mail or PDF and something on an invoice attachment, or sorry, on the email attachment, moving all of that online and giving that visibility. So from the account statement page, you can navigate into paying invoices online or viewing open orders. I can also go to a designated report to see paid invoices or open invoices. So if I come look at just the open invoices, I can set different parameters here. I can establish date ranges. I can filter against any of these column headers. But what's key thing to point out here is for anything open, I'm going to get an open indicator so the customer knows this is still an open balance. We're going to show them a current or past due indicator. So red is green, good is bad, and hopefully none of your customers have 240 days past due, but as we know, life goes on. And then we're prompting them to pay this online. So again, they can see all the line item details that would be on the actual invoice in the ERP system. And then again, providing a way for them to facilitate those payments online, which I'll walk through here is kind of the last little bit of my demonstration. So what you'll note is I came here to pay this unique invoice right here. But what actually is happening is we're showing the user their entire open AR balance. So trying to eliminate the, oh, I never got that invoice, or oh, I didn't know that was owed. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Or oh, the check's in the mail. Well, you can facilitate all of that online. So what we'll do here is we will pay this invoice. We're going to pay it via credit card, but we also can facilitate ACH payments as well. I like to say this is kind of that ACH for idiots, for lack of a better word, here on what I have to do in my personal life, going and grabbing a check out of the box and putting in the routing number and the account number, but really painless way to try to move some of that behavior online. Part of CIMcloud's environment is leveraging gateways, of which you guys are familiar with, plenty of payment merchants in the industry. We want to leverage their, obviously their merchant services. And we just pass encrypted payment information or tokenized payment information to the gateway, which I'm doing right now. For those of you that are curious, my demo system is tied to a Paya install, but we have an entire list of compatible gateways. So we're making a call out to the gateway with to authorize the funds. And then what's happening here, as you'll see, an email receipt goes to the customer. You can also have CC'd or BCC'd on that, any of your accounts payable contacts or any of our customers' accounts payable contacts. And what's happening behind the scenes, and I'm going to have to log back into Sage, of course, but we are actually creating a cash receipt in the ERP system. I clicked the wrong thing there. So if I go to accounts receivable and I go to my cash receipts journal, let me filter against the comment field here, and I should see 2 11/29 payments. This was the test I submitted this morning. And then this 11/29 for 1293 right there is the payment that we just submitted via the website. So as you can see here, this is going to streamline a lot of the Q&A or the inbound customer service requests that are going to come as you are servicing these customers from the time the order's been placed all the way through the invoice being paid. We're also facilitating a quick and easy way for them to make those payments and then creating cash receipts in the ERP system without any human intervention. So again, your people or our customers, employees may still be providing that white glove service and reaching out to touch base, sending Christmas cards and doing all those good things, but we're eliminating a lot of the mundane or the repetitive Q&A that's needed. One other thing we're going to show, and I'm not going to spend much time here, but you have heard us talking about CRM tools for obviously for reps or customer service reps. One thing that we've seen in the industry is as many businesses have pivoted into a hybrid or a remote first model, you have people that are interfacing with Sage via VPN or some other secure or hopefully secure manner. But with CIMcloud, you're actually able to give them that remote access to view Sage data, to take action on behalf of customers without having to directly interface with the ERP system. So if you come in here, just kind of top down, the website visits report is going to tell you adoption statistics. So who at what accounts is using the system and what are they doing with it. In the event that the platform was configured with add-ons to have online ordering, you could see product performance. You could see obviously keyword searches. What are your users looking for from product standpoint? What's been saved for later? All the kind of big brother-ish statistics that are needed to manage these accounts. As Grayson alluded to, you can take an account-specific view of obviously accounts. A little bit of a overlap on words there. But I can come in here, see the dashboard. I can see a sales statistics report that's going to show me performance this day, this year, look at the invoice aging. I can go into unique reports on what products this account is typically ordering based off of date. I can also look at it based off of the highest quantity. So what products is this customer buying in the highest frequency? As you can see here, our demo site loves coffee makers. But I can get all this data at the account level. I can also, as like a manager or an accounts receivable resource at our collective customer accounts, can come in here and see different reports on invoice aging. I can group it by account. I can take different filtered views of it. So here is all of my aging across these accounts right here. So I could come in and look at that. I could look at sales orders grouped by account. Again, this would be all sales orders, not just online or offline. So let's say I want to say, show me all orders that have been placed in the last 3 months, and then group it by completed transactions by account. That's a very granular view there. As you can see here, I got too granular. So let me stay away from that. But if we come in here and look at a non-completed view, again, I can see by account who's doing what. So again, this is kind of that secondary view of saying, the goal with CIMcloud is to provide your customers with the self-service tools that they need to do business on their terms. It's providing employees with that visibility and remote access to apply payments or place orders on behalf of customers, and doing all of that in a secure environment that's fully integrated with the ERP system. So now the good part. What does this cost? How do your customers get started? And what does this mean for you as a Sage partner? So the entry point to the product that we just looked at, which is our Sage 100 customer portal by CIMcloud, which is designed to provide, again, that order tracking, order visibility, invoice payments. So independent of any add-ons that may be part of the customer's requirements, there is a one-time fee, $4,000, and a monthly fee of $450. Now, if you look at your subscription order form, what you'll note is that the first year is combined into an annual payment. So it would be a $9,400 one-time payment, $5,400 of which is software. So as a partner, you're going to be able to take advantage of $5,400 in Sage tier credit. Some of you in the audience may have taken advantage of our Q3 promotion and got that tier credit kicker, which was obviously a great opportunity for you as partners to take advantage of a little bit of a bonus there. There's also additional commission benefits that are eligible via a direct CIMcloud partner plan. So you take advantage of this Sage SKU here. If there are any add-ons that are required by the client, maybe they want to do product catalog and ordering, maybe they want to do RMAs or some advanced functionality. All of that does have partner benefits as well. And obviously you can engage us directly to learn more about our partner program. Some of you that are in the audience have already participated in that, either historically or with the new partner plan that we rolled out this year to better coincide with our Sage subscription order form offering here. So this is a great entry point for your clients. Obviously a very feasible financial commitment and a really good opportunity for those businesses that aren't sold on the full e-commerce landscape. Maybe they're worried about their product complexity. Maybe the 70% of their orders are coming in via EDI, and they just want to dip their toe in the water. Again, it's a very low risk option for them to start dipping their toe in the water there. And obviously as a Sage partner, a good opportunity for you to take advantage of commission opportunities as well as tier credit opportunities. So we're happy to kind of explore that further and would love to dig in. The other thing that we want to talk about is kind of building off of the Sage 100 customer portal and talking about some expansion opportunities. So we've alluded to throughout the presentation the ability to do product catalogs and have different smart ordering functionality. If you look on screen here, on the right side, you're noticing the ability to add to cart. You're seeing some products that have parent-child relationships. You're seeing categories, subcategories. Over here on the left, you're seeing things like my frequently ordered or my recently ordered, where we're going to leverage that customer's transaction history from Sage to drive recommendations on the products that they may want to buy. We also have, in parallel with that, some advanced CRM tools. So obviously that would include ordering. If you have the ordering functionality for customers, that would carry over for your reps. If you look on the right side here, you have some advanced dashboards with advanced note-taking, email parsing, interaction logs. Maybe those are site visits. You're seeing the key account notes. We had a client one time talk about their reps use this sometimes when they're entertaining clients. They'll go do a full day site visit, and they were logging key account notes on that customer's dining preferences. So if this customer takes their steak raw, for example, just to really give your reps when they're servicing accounts an ability to have kind of quick and easy access into what's going on with this account transactionally, and then also what's going on with this account from basically a human-to-human standpoint. One other example of where I've seen our CRM tools be really valuable is for businesses that are more account-based or territory-based in nature. And so again, they're having reps in the field all day, every day that need to get that data from Sage or need to place orders on behalf of customers. So being able to do that remotely is obviously a great value add. And then we did talk about our ability to do public-facing websites. So that could be as simple as we just need a new corporate website because we haven't touched our existing one in 15 years and doesn't even work on a smartphone. Or it could be we want to open up a secondary sales channel and try for some high margin sales in a direct consumer market. So we have plenty of customers at CIMcloud that do both B2C and B2B through us. And again, all leveraging that same integration on the back end and that same integration for going and pushing data back into the ERP. And then we have a whole litany of add-on bundles that can basically customize the platform all using standard product. So custom doesn't always have to be a scary word. They can customize that. You're seeing things like inventory tools where we can sync either a single warehouse view or a multi-warehouse view. We have some advanced CRM functionality that includes quote workflows and some of the note-taking functionality that we look there. You have your enterprise faceted search, which allows for things like make and model search. Let's say the customer sells industrial vacuums, and each of these components, they want to show customers exploded parts diagrams to make sure they're ordering the right stuff. We can deploy multiple sites off of a single backend. So maybe they get started with the Sage 100 customer portal, they get some adoption there, and then they want to open up a B2C sales channel, all using the same platform and the same provider. And even things as complex as multi-ERP company files. Again, we've done this for over 20 years and really concentrated in the integrated e-commerce space for about the last 10 to 15. So across hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of accounts that are active with us, we've kind of solved a lot of that B2B complexity and have a ton of premium features available to do that. So expanding the platform is one way to kind of take advantage of it. And that obviously fits into that generate demand bucket here. So you as partners are able to earn commission dollars on software sold. You're obviously very familiar with that model. But the other thing that's unique to CIMcloud is that the platform is designed to be implemented by whatever group or team the client decides. So that's the second bucket here. And I'm going to skip through that generate demand because we've spoken about that kind of in a good bit. And you are all familiar with a referral program, whether it's with us or with Sage or with any other ISV. But what may be unique with CIMcloud compared to other ISVs is the opportunity to earn services revenue by working with customers that are exploring CIMcloud. A very simple way that I've seen engagements and projects with us generate revenue is in the form of ERP data cleanup and or enhancements. So an example, customer comes to us, they want to do an online catalog. but they're managing pricing in spreadsheets. Well, they need to get that migrated into Sage, and it's a great opportunity for you to finally, I'm sure you've been asking them to do it for years, undertake that project and get that data into Sage. Start taking advantage of all the native pricing functionality that's inside that system that can be replicated with CIMcloud. That may be expanding on what's already there. So for example, we have a client right now that is implementing some quantity restrictions within their product catalog. And so they're going to have min quantities, max quantities, and quantity increments. And they house the increments they want to sell by in UDFs inside of the item maintenance record in Sage. And so we are actually working with the partner to review, clean up, and then integrate those user-defined fields to generate the different quantity controls and syncing that into the fields on the CIMcloud side. So again, good opportunity for the partner to leverage and maybe even get some things done in Sage they've been asking the client to do for years, but the necessity is driven by the engagement with CIMcloud. So those are very simple kind of database cleanup things. But there's also opportunities for you to take advantage of skill sets you already have, like project management, like implementing enterprise systems. You've done that with Sage. As they go through version upgrades, as are micro projects that you're managing on behalf of the client, you likely were a part of the initial implementation for many of these clients. Although, as we all know, sometimes the customer still thinks they're using or still calls it Mass 90, and no one knows who was around when it was implemented. But these are things that like the back of your hand. You know these customers, you know their business model, and so you can either provide consulting services to say, hey, you're about to do this project with CIMcloud, we need to think about these things. Also, it may create a need for them to say, you know what, we have no idea how to put together a project plan and coordinate across different teams and different organizations to get the work done. And so they'll bring you in on a retainer. I've seen that done many a time where the reseller or the partner actually comes in on retainer. They're part of that overall project team, and they're helping get CIMcloud implemented. One other thing that isn't even represented in the slides here, but as clients expand their usage of CIMcloud, it creates the need for other ISV solutions. So for example, if they're wanting to show inventory on the website, but their inventory is a mess, maybe they need to engage either a solution like a NetStock, or maybe they need to engage a solution that's warehouse management driven to get that inventory cleaned up. Maybe they need multi-bin or a DSD enhancement. Maybe they want to expand into B2C and they don't want to manage tax schedules in the ERP. And so they need a solution like Avalara. And you're able to introduce those solutions. You're able to build further stickiness on Sage 100. And then hopefully you're getting some commissions from those alternative solutions that you are bringing in front of the customer. So that is some, if not all, but probably not all of the ways that CIMcloud is going to help drive revenue for you, the partner, and your organization with minimal learning or minimal changes to how you currently operate. So before I turn it over to Jeff for polls, and then we'll hit Q&A, just want to kind of talk through where to go from here. And who you can work with on our team. So I've obviously introduced myself and Grayson. We also have a business development representative on the team over here working with new customers named Trevor McGowan. Any of us are happy to help you with prospective customers. We also have a team that indirectly reports up underneath me on the customer success side. So if you have any existing CIMcloud customers and you need any help, whether that's the right direction on an ERP upgrade that you're doing, or maybe some upgrades or FYIs on the client's corporate environment, you can obviously reach out to me and I can get the right people on the account management or the customer success side looped in as well. So I am going to turn it over to Jeff to drive the attendee poll.
Great, thanks, Jack. Lots of great information there. So as you may have heard Jack mention, we have a webcast, as you'll see the poll coming up on December 14th. This one is for end user Sage 100 customers, so your clients. And we have a way, I know I've worked with a few of you that are on, I've seen on the list already as part of our concierge program, but we have a way leveraging our partner marketing platform, Sage Advanced, to actually execute email campaigns on your behalf. So the emails come from you, the business partner, to your clients, but Sage Partner Marketing, myself, and people that work with me can manage that logistics of actually executing the email if you're interested. Or if you want to learn more about it, one of the ways we work with a lot of partners is you have your own marketing automation systems, but we are happy to provide you content from that. So we can either provide HTML content or just the straight copy that you could leverage put into your templates if you like. So if anyone's interested in this program, happy to have a conversation and discuss more with you about it. But this is your opportunity just to raise your hand. And if you select yes or maybe, I'll reach out within the next couple days. Thanks. I'm seeing some answers come in. And we can discuss how we can do this. And this goes for all of our ISVs. We offer this for all of our price listed ISVs, and we can promote ongoingly if you like to our different webcasts. So I'm going to give everyone a couple more seconds to answer. I see answers coming in. Thanks so much. And also, when I send out the recording as well, if you change your mind, feel free just to respond to that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll here. Thank you for those that responded that you're interested. I'll be reaching out to you guys over the next couple days. Thanks so much. Back to you, Jack.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jeff. And so kind of just wrapping up here. Again, I don't see any questions on my end. Jeff, if I'm missing some stuff, just go ahead and rapid fire at me. But if not, I guess I'll open that to you, Jeff. You see anything in there?
Nope, I just checked a couple places. Nope, looks like you're so succinct, Jack, that there's no questions.
Well, as Jeff mentioned, yeah, definitely want to encourage you guys to loop your customers in. I know sometimes talking to salespeople can be a lot in kind of a one-on-one environment. So I think this is a great opportunity for our collective customers or potential collective customers to kind of see our product in a non-intrusive environment and get some ideas going as they leverage these types of dead times around the holidays potentially to do some Q1 2024 planning. I appreciate everyone's time today and the audience and the engagement. And what we'll be doing, as Jeff mentioned, he'll be following up with you guys on this. We may be reaching out to some of you just to see if we can kind of cross promote the upcoming webinar on the 14th. And if you need anything from us, you're going to have contact information coming out on the PDF of this deck. You also probably know where to find me or Grayson. So really look forward to working with each of you and your customers individually. And thanks again.
Great. Thanks, Jack, and thanks, Grayson. And like I said, I'll have an email out hopefully this week, if not this week, very early next week, with a link to the recording from today's webcast as well as a PDF of the slides. And like Jack said, if you're interested in promoting this to your clients, please just let me know and I'm happy to assist. So with that, I'll end today's webcast. Wish everyone a great rest of your day and happy to give everyone 12 minutes back. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks, guys.